Hello everybody, I'm glad you're here. I'm going to get right to it. This is a repost of what I posted earlier and deleted. There were some complaints about the video, so I just thought it's best just to delete it and start over. So here we are. I want to bring you a dream that my daughter had on June 4th, 2023. I'm not going to give you any preference or pre-thing to it. I don't want to affect anybody who wants to interpret it. I'm not as gifted at it as interpreting as other people are, so I will just read it to you and then bring you my thoughts at the end. Before I begin reading, I do want to tell you, and I had a lot of comments on this. I think my dog saw an angel. Y'all, I know that sounds crazy. Y'all assure me that I'm not. I appreciate that. But it was just right over in this corner. I videoed it. I'm going to post that video over the weekend, so be watching for it. Now, this dream that my daughter had, she's 27. She is a nurse. She was in 4-H club, which is a agricultural kind of club for youth around this area. I guess all over the nation, probably. Anyway, there's a reference to that in this dream. There's also a reference to Farwell, which is the town down the road from us. John Farwell is who that town is named after. He was a man who got the state capital of Texas built, funded and built. He was the instigator of that, and I think that's relevant. He was paid 3 million acres in land. He called it, it was 10 counties in Texas. He called it XIT, and that means 10 in Texas. But a lot of people, when they see XIT, they pronounce it, if they don't know that, they call it exit. And sometimes they say farewell is farewell. So anyway, those are pre-dream backgrounds. All right, so I'll just get right to it and read this, and I hope it blesses you. I believe this is prophetic. All right, this is what Taylor said, my daughter. Last night I dreamed that I arrived at this town, Munch, M-U-N-C-H, Texas. I had the sense I had been there before as a kid with 4-H. They had a thing where they celebrated their World War II heritage. It was a program they had several times a day. I arrived right as this choir was finishing singing. I saw a guy that looked like my friend Nathan from nursing school. They finished, and he called out someone who he said had gone to nursing school. He had gone to nursing school with, and I thought, what about me? But the choir left before I could go talk to him. I then got into a mule vehicle, not the animal, the vehicle, with 3 other people. One was named Quincy. And we went down this road looking at all these lights on a fence. And the lady told me, there was a lady there, one of the 3 people, told me to put on sunglasses to see everything better. When we got to the end, there was this huge explosion, and I looked up to see the city hall crumble to the ground. A giant silver ball hit the building in the front and demolished it. We were confused whether it was part of the program or if we were being attacked. I got on my phone and saw a girl that we knew, that's a Christian, and she was posting about the damage in Clovis, which is in New Mexico, close to us. So I knew it was an attack. She then saw another building be hit and fall, like maybe an office building. And then she realized the train yard had been destroyed. It had been used to ship things during World War II. And the post office had been destroyed. I thought I needed to get home. It became like a video game, and I took a ship and teleported home. But the 3 people from earlier had to come with me. The dream shifted, and I was walking along a road to Farwell. That's the town just 12 miles from us. It was very dark, and there were trees. There were cars stopped on the edge of the highway to my right. I was confused why they were there. The trains were stopped because the attack had caused the railroad to go down to just one track into Clovis. As I walked, I thought, oh, these people are pillaging the food off the trains. I got to Farwell and turned around, coming back down the dark road. I saw the cars again and looked on the other side of the road, and this time I then realized the people were not taking food, but mourning the deaths of the people who had died in the attack. On the side of the road was a cemetery, and people had lit lots of candles and were crying and laying on the graves. Later, Mom told a man I had walked to Farwell several times a day to keep up with what was going on. Side note, she's still writing. While in Munch, after the attack, I kept thinking I needed to store food, that the internet and electricity were going to go out, and when my phone battery died, that would be it for communication. That's the end of the dream. Now then, I'm glad I'm doing this a second time because I think this may be a better video. I don't know. But one of the things, well, mainly because some of you have commented on that first video I posted, like, oh yeah, I never even thought of that. Let's just begin. First of all, to me, the most striking part of this dream is the 4 places that were attacked. The building, which could have been an office building, which to me represents economy, the post office, communications, the train yard, supply chain, and the city hall, government. Okay? So that is compelling to me. That is a lot of attacks at one time. I think we're seeing this in slow motion. It's not a literal attack right now in our country, but we're kind of seeing it in slow motion. Another thing that struck me about this dream is the sense that the food was going to run out, the internet was going to be turned off, and so was the electricity, and the battery there'd be no communication. In other words, a grid down kind of feeling. Maybe even I don't know, maybe EMP. I'm not sensing, I don't really get that in this dream, but I mean, that's a thought. So those are the main big kaboom in my head. When she told me this dream, I was like, holy cow. Now then, let's break it down a little bit. First of all, I don't understand every element of this dream. I just don't. So, if you are struck by something, please comment. I've already learned just from like ditching that first try and reading what there were like 5 comments, 6. They were great. So thank you. Now then, I don't understand Munch, Texas. I don't understand that. The fact that she had the sense that she had been there before, I'm not sure what that means, nor the choir singing, other than there was a sense of comfortable, safe, normal, familiar. Maybe that's what that means. Now, Nathan means given. And she saw Nathan, and I'm wondering if that represents she's been given this or that she will be given more. I need to tell you up front and honest, she ran across on Instagram a post from Nathan right before she went to sleep that night. That may influence this. You have to discern this. I have to discern this through the Holy Spirit. So I don't think that's an issue, but we need to treat that part of it we need to filter that hard. All right, now then, The 3 people on the mule, I think that's angelic beings with her. And the one named Quincy, that's 5. That means 5. I'm wondering a couple of things. First of all, I'm wondering if the 5 is representative of the 5th seal and the martyrs. There's kind of that feel to this dream in Revelation 6. I don't know. When I read Revelation 6, it kind of shook me a little bit because it had the same feel of this dream. I also think there is a parallel between the World War II memorial heritage and the fact that we are on the cusp, if not in World War III, nearly a mirror image of what happened then, what's happening now. I think that might be important. Now then, the lights on the fence. I think that's believers in Jesus Christ, that we are the light of the world. Fences keep people in, and fences keep things out. Now, I don't understand all the things about the Antichrist. I just don't. But, and so I can't speak to that very strongly. But I know that there's people that interpret that when the Holy Spirit leaves, or when the church leaves, then the Antichrist will be there. But I can't say that for sure. Now, one brilliant viewer mentioned that put on sunglasses to see everything better. They wrote sun, S-O-N, glasses. See through the eyes of Christ so we can see everything better. Wow and wow. I did not. Usually I'm a little better at that. Like, ooh, yeah, let's, double meaning here. But I missed that one. So that was amazing. And I think that is what that means. We need to wear the eyes of Christ. So loved that. Now then, the metal ball, the silver ball that hit the building and demolished it. She said it was like a cannonball. It was like a bomb. Okay, so that's what that was. The fact that it's a silver metallic ball, does that represent technology? A lot of people draw that parallel in elements like that. Y'all tell me what you think about that. Is that a big deal? Does that matter? I don't know. The fact that that people were confused whether it was part of the program or if they were being attacked. I find that fascinating because there are people who are lulled into this normalcy bias to where they're not even seeing clearly if we were attacked in this nation, or that this is definitely, we're in a season of spiraling into, I don't know what this country is anymore. But anyway, that's, there was confusion on what was real and what wasn't. Now then, she confirmed that through this girl, a friend. I will say this friend I ran this dream past her, and she said she did not want her name mentioned, but her name means water, moving water. So, she is a believer. So I think that through the Holy Spirit we'll be able to discern some things, and I think that's what that part of that means. Now, I've already gone over the 4 things that were demolished, and I think that's relevant. And I think that's where we're going to see things crumbling in our nation. Now, the 3 people that were with her earlier, and once again, they came home with her. I do think those are angelic beings of guardians, okay? So that's great. Quincy and that woman, I don't know. Also, Quincy 5 meaning grace. Isn't that right? That 5 means grace. That might be another element of Quincy's name. I'm trying to think. Is there any other, y'all, if there's any other things about 5 or the name Quincy, let me know. So she was walking along the railroad tracks to Farwell. And sometimes, once again, the double meaning, a train track, training to be on the right track, like not train, like TRANE, training to be on the right track. I wonder if that's what that means. I'm not really feeling that, but I mean, it might. It was very dark and there were trees, and she stopped and she saw all of these cars. And once again, I was confused why they were there. The trains were stopped because the attack had caused the railroad to go down to one track into Clovis. Now, Clovis is in New Mexico, all right? So here's how we are, it's beyond Farwell. Okay, so Farwell is the last town this side of the New Mexico line in Texas. In fact, Farwell, Texaco is all one town, and the state line goes right between it. Also, the time change from Central to Mountain goes right in between that. So when you're doing things in Texaco, you're an hour behind, or Clovis or New Mexico. So anyway, that's how we live. That's our life. But anyway, it's kind of weird. It's a weird setup. But Farwell and John Farwell and his brother Charles Farwell, the town namesake, I think is relevant because they were both so involved with the Texas Capitol being built. And in this dream, the courthouse crumbled and was attacked. I just wonder if there's something parallel to that. It makes sense to me, but I don't know for sure. Now, I think that the cemetery and the people crying is, one time God told me to be prepared for sorrow upon sorrow. I think whatever is going to happen is going to cause people to be sorrowful, that either spiritual death or physical death, I don't know. Because this dream can go right with spiritual attack just as well as it could a physical, natural attack. So I can't tell you, except these are the kinds of dreams, tailored dreams, and I've noticed they're the kind of dreams people her age dream. Very apocalyptic kind of dreams. And I think that's relevant. That's all I have. I'm sorry I had to bring this twice, but I just did. I couldn't stand what that commenter said. I had to do something about it. So anyway, that probably tells you more about me than anything else. But anyway, I just want the dreams to stand on their own without any of the, and if I do something wrong, I'm sorry. I don't mean to. But through these dreams, we can learn a lot about God. He warns us. I believe he warns us through dreams. I used to not believe that. I used to believe God didn't do things like that ever. I do not believe that way anymore. And I can't tell you this is completely prophetic, thus saith the Lord kind of stuff. But what I can say, it is very much in line with all the other dreams we get, and it fits. And I hope this helps you look at Revelation 6, where there's martyrs and the fifth seal is broken. Go dig into that. Read Revelation, the whole book. Man, from start to finish. It won't take you long, but it's pretty great. In the end, we're victorious as children of God, children of God, because Revelation, no matter all the ins and outs of it, that's the main message. We will be with God. Christ will come back and get us. I don't know when that day's going to be, but be alert. Wear the full armor of God and pray. Keep focused on Jesus, everybody. He loves us. He loves us so much. So that's it. I'm going to leave this with you. This is Gina Lima Charlie. I'm out.